Hey, welcome back you guys to one of our Friday videos. So today I'm going to do something that I got a request for. I'm going to actually carve a sign on right here so you guys can see. This one, and we've done a couple on detailed stuff, detailed carvings lately. But this one was really special. So, and there's some interesting things that came up with it. So you guys are going to watch it actually from starting to the layout. I've already done the layout on it, but I want you guys to see how I carve really fine detail. So I got a question from a lady that wanted this carved on a sign for somebody, and hopefully, Dad, you can zoom in on that. This is what she sent me, and she wanted this carved on a sign. And that's a lot of detail. So, so the dilemma that this brings up is this is way too small for me to carve. So what I had to do is I had to expand it up, and it's going to end up being what I was hoping to do is be able to expand this up 200% to give me enough lines or enough room in between the lines that I could carve it. This is how it came out at 200%. Okay, I don't know exactly what the measurement on this is, but that's how it came out 200%, which is it's about 13 by 7 3/4, something like that. Well, as it turns out, that's what I would have liked to have gone with, but I couldn't because she also wanted some wording top and bottom. So I had to drop it back down to 175%. So this is going to be the actual size. So again, the issues with this is I couldn't go too big because I had to put wording on there. This is the size boards that she wanted. So I made it 175%. And we're going to give it a go. So I used the same process. This is that photo paper that I've stuck down on there. Hopefully it's warm today. Hopefully it will stay stuck down. And we'll get to carving it and see how it comes out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve a good portion of this on camera to give you guys an idea of how I go about doing something like this. When you've got something that's super detailed like this, you have to be kind of picking and choosing what lines you're going to carve and what lines you're not. Now if you're using a CNC or a laser or whatever, you can just carve them all. But when you're doing it by hand, the router bit is so, and I'm using our standard profile bit, but I've ground it down to where it's got a really sharp point on it. So it carves even more detailed, and you'll see that in a minute here, than our standard profile bit. I just modified it to make sure that it would cut a really fine line. But anyway, so you have to kind of pick and choose what lines you're going to do and what lines you're not. Now what I'm going to do, the reason I brought this big one out here, I'm going to reference back to this, so if I lose lines here, I can look at it and see what it's supposed to look like. So wish me luck. This one makes me a little bit nervous, I have to tell you, because and there's not a whole lot that makes me nervous from a freehand carving standpoint, but this is one of those ones that, man, you could mess it up pretty easily. So I'm hoping that that everything stays flat down and I don't have any issues with it, but let's just give this a go and see how we do. I'm not sure that's the right depth. We'll see kind of how that works. I'll kind of start at the top and work my way down. You with me, Dad?
I'm with you.
All right. realized here, I'm going to try and talk over this. Some of the lines I'm picking as inset, some of them as outset when you're watching me do it. So that's where you have to kind of disseminate what's going to look best.
Yeah, that's all right. I can hold it.
Would it be better if I turn the router this way?
No.
Okay. throw your lines off. keeping track of the time here, guys. So, I'll carve a little bit more detail over here. Okay, so you can see how hairy some of that stuff gets. The wheel, this was the part that I was the most nervous about because of all those intersecting lines. And as that stuff peels off, trying to keep track of where those lines are. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of advance this thing, guys. Come in at the end a little bit. I'll probably do this side over here, the back wheel, and then work my way to the center. And give you guys a few more minutes of that centerpiece. But you guys can kind of see where I have to kind of pick and choose what lines I'm gonna. I still have to do the outside of that tire too. I almost forgot about that. So anyway, I'm gonna shut the camera down, and I'll come back in a little while after I've got a little bit more of this stuff done and do some of this stuff in the center. So we'll be back in a minute. Goodbye. Okay guys, I've kind of finished up a lot of the back end of this motorcycle. Dad, if you can pan down, I'll show you where we're at here. So I finished all the detail in the back end here and kind of finished up the stuff here. So all we have left really is the internal parts of the cylinders and the fins and that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to finish that up. Now I'm not going to carve those small letters. That would all be lost. You'd probably chip out. I'm just going to try the HD and see how that comes out, and just leave it at that. But the rest of the Harley Davidson there, I'm not gonna carve that. So let's get this going here. Again. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that paper stuck on the router bit, so I could have probably tried to take that off while it was spinning, but nah, it's not real safe. So
that's a little risky.
Huh?
That's a little risky.
Yeah. I'm gonna do one more thing. Okay, that is, now what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to carve these inset letters up and above and below, because I know a lot of people have kind of having maybe some issues with the inset letters, so I want to get these done. Then we're going to pull off that paper, use that heat gun, pull that paper off, and see what it looks like. And then I may want to go over all these lines again and make them deeper. I won't know for sure until I get all that paper off of there and see what I need to do. And that's where this picture will really help me come into place once all this paper is off here. But for right now...
You mentioned those letters. You didn't carve those, did you?
These letters?
No, the HD.
Oh, I didn't carve the HD letters. No, I didn't. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you said something, Dad. Good thinking. Let me get that done. That better?
Yep.
Those are pretty tiny letters, I'll tell you. So again, I may adjust those. I may adjust some of those lines and redo them after I get that paper all off. But let's get these inset letters done. Now you guys probably can't see it, but I've got a little number symbol that I just wrote in here with a pencil. Check my desk here. Now, hang on a second. Get my pads all squared away. Now these are 1-inch letters. These are 3/4 inch letters. Again, I kind of had to drop down to 3/4 inch on this because I kind of ran out of room because I needed to make that bike so big. So I have to adjust my depth again. Okay, guys, so that is it for this week. I'm gonna pull this paper off and finish this up, but that will be on next week's video. I just don't want to overwhelm you guys and do too much all in one shot because this video is pretty long as it is. So there's just a lot, but the hard stuff is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on to the next steps. But you guys will see that on next week's video on part 2, and by the end of part 2 this will be all done. You'll see it with a finish on it, and me progress through the entire sign. So everybody have a great week out there. Don't forget to share our videos. Go out and share it with everybody that you can. We sure appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. And the new LTS is coming up September 12th. So you'll probably see some. And if you want an invitation to that, be sure. And like I've been saying on the Coffee and Questions, be sure and send me an email and I'll send you an invite. So everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Thanks.